Oh God, it's so exciting.
Happy Hail Bob Day.
It is a happy Hail Bob Day.
Hello, the Curse of Dam.
It's the best finishing score we've seen at 5-star level.
That was our elo coming into the competition.
Eventing Manager is back.
Best show that we have, Alphabetti Spaghetti.
Looking forward to seeing quality horses.
Still a great day for Ireland.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
I mean, you're a bit of an eventing geek just like us.
And it's time to get on with the show. Welcome to the Equirating's Eventing podcast, and listeners, got a really, really interesting show for you today because some big news has just broken, and I thought it would be the perfect opportunity for us to talk a little bit more about Bramham International Horse Trials, which is one of the events that we have missed most over the last couple of years. And joining me on the show is none other than Event Director Nick Pritchard. Nick, it is good to have you with us. Exciting times.
Very exciting. Thank you for having me.
It is a pleasure. I'm looking forward to finding out more about what is in store for us at Bramham in 2022. So that breaking news is that British Eventing have just announced, in partnership with Bramham, that the BE80 Championships will now be held at Bramham from 2022, which I have to admit just sounds like the absolute dream, because amateur riders riding around one of the most iconic eventing locations in Great Britain, alongside some of the best horse and riders in the world that'll be there competing in the traditional 4-star long and the 4-star short classes as well. So first of all, Nick, just tell us a bit about what is in store, because it is a really, really special, unique opportunity.
It is. I mean, it's very, very exciting. We're very honoured to have been asked by British Eventing to host this as well. So it's really exciting, and we've got Ian Stark's going to design the course for them. And David Evans is going to build it as well. So it's sort of quite special and quite fun. And we're trying to, I suppose, in a way, emulate the amazing success of the grassroots at badminton over the last few years. I mean, we could never match them by any means, but they've done a brilliant job with the 90 and 100. And if we can get anywhere close to that with the 80, we'll be very, very pleased.
That's incredible. So Ian Stark, absolute eventing legend. He's just fresh from designing the 5-star in Maryland at Fair Hill over in the States. He is a course designer for the European Championships at Blair Castle. He has designed so many top tracks, the likes of Chatsworth, of Carolina over in the States as well. Has been a designer at Bramham for a good number of years. He's known for being a real horseman, isn't he? And I'm fascinated to see how he's going to be able to translate that and how educational that is going to be for grassroots riders, sort of being able to take advantage of his expertise at the lower level as well.
Absolutely. I think it's a real opportunity. I mean, he's an absolute genius with what he does. I mean, he's a great phrase. It's sort of a rider frightener, whereas the horse can sort of see what it's doing and knows what it's supposed to do and does it. The horse's point of view is all quite manageable and workable, and he's very, very clever the way he does that and makes such good use of the terrain that we have here as well.
True cross-country riding. I think that's one of the things that comes from Ian's days, both as one of the best cross-country riders that we can remember in the sport, but also now in his course designing career. He manages to really build questions that the horses understand, but as riders make us think a little bit as well, which is exactly what we want in a championship, and is going to really, really give us something to get our teeth into. Ian Stark is one of the best course designers in the world, and he will be designing the 80 Championship. It's a huge opportunity for riders to be able to get their teeth stuck into something. How is it going to run in terms of location to the traditional 4-star tracks?
We're going to run the 80 slightly earlier in the week. So they'll be doing their dressage on the Tuesday and Wednesday, and they'll do their cross country on Thursday. And on Thursday, we've got the international competitors doing their main dressage as well. So we're putting the BE80 in a slightly different part of the park. We're blessed with lots of space here. So we are sort of creating a new area where they're going to be based, where their stables and arenas and stuff are going to be. And then they get out to run around the park on the Thursday for the cross country, which would be great.
And David Evans is the course builder who, again, has built at Bramham for a number of years. He built the courses in Tokyo. He is an established designer himself. He designs up to the 4-star level. Blenheim Palace International Horse Trials would be an example of one of those big tracks that he designs himself. So it is a real dream team of Ian and David that will be producing that cross-country track. What about the challenge of Bramham being back bigger and better in 2022? Because I honestly, Nick, I can't even imagine the head scratching, the heartbreak as an event organizer that has gone on over the last couple of years, because it has been unbelievably tough.
It's been unbelievably tough for so many different people. As an organizer trying to put on Bramham, it's all a bit of a blur now, but it involved an awful lot of, as you say, head scratching and sitting down and looking at budgets and looking at sort of government guidance and what can and what can't we do, and various things like that. And then in 2021, obviously we had the roadmap out of lockdown, and we fell within sort of weeks of the final step, but we were still limited on spectator numbers, and we couldn't guarantee those spectator numbers because we got public footpaths and we're so close to Leeds and other villages and stuff as well. So it was a real challenge, and it was absolutely gutting. I think is my best word for that, to have to cancel particularly twice in a row. And it's just because so much goes into it. It's such a highlight of the year, so much effort and momentum. You've got the big uphill push as you come towards the event, then you've got the event, then you slide down the other side and start thinking and preparing about next year. So the last 2 years, for me personally, have been very, very flat. They haven't had that real high of the horse trials in June, which is sort of something that we sort of worked towards for so many months and sort of, come down from afterwards. So it's been a very, very strange 2 years. I am very much looking forward to 2022 and 2022 being a much more normal year.
Back to the Bramham that we know and love. What's your involvement at Bramham? Because am I right in saying you've been there for, goodness, 12, 13 years now? So it must be a massive part of your life in all respects.
My main job is I manage the estate. I'm the estate manager at Bramham Park. So I look after sort of every aspect of the estate management here. And I started that in 2008, I think it was. And then in 2009, running the horse trials became part of my remit. And back in 2009, I didn't know anything about horse trials at all. I'd barely even been to one. I could tell the front from the back of a horse my wife used to ride, or does ride, sorry, she still does. So it was quite a steep learning curve back in 2009. Still learning now, definitely, but a good few years have passed in between.
What do you love most about the horse trials? What is your highlight every year?
I think my highlight of the horse trials is quite a difficult one to answer, because it's sort of, I want to just say everything, because it is so much effort goes into it, so much, the whole team comes together, and that's the whole team of all the estate staff that we've got here at Bramham, plus the army of volunteers and officials that come in to actually make the thing happen, all the spectators, the traders, the public that come to support it as well. Just getting everyone together and seeing their enjoyment and sort of the thrills and spills of the weekend, everyone having so much fun and enjoying it all, and sort of witnessing that. I feel like a bit of a spectator when it actually comes to the event itself, and sort of it's great. So I think it's the whole thing. And we get sort of the real, I get the real sort of Bramham blues afterwards on sort of Monday afternoon, once the last few trade stands have gone home. It's sort of back to an eerie, quiet Bramham Park again with the sheep strolling around. It's very, very strange. So I think what my highlight is the whole thing, really. I just enjoy the event.
The atmosphere. I have to admit, listeners, if you haven't been to Bramham, it is one of the most beautiful, one of the most lovely events to go to. Absolutely put it on your list for 2022, because we are very, very much looking forward to having it back. And in 2022, with an opportunity for riders who could have only dreamed of ever being able to ride on that hallowed turf, to be able to have their shot at championship glory as well, with the BE80 Championships going there for the very first time. It's exciting times. Nick, thank you so much, because I appreciate that things are fairly manic in the build-up. The momentum gathers, I know, heading into an event year, and we're very, very much looking forward to having Bramham back on the calendar. So thank you very much, and we'll look forward to not only the traditional Bramham, but also the brand new 80 Championships as well.
Thank you very much indeed. We can't wait. We're really, really looking forward to it.
Thank you for listening to the Echo Ratings Eventing podcast.
Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I look forward to having you back with us soon.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more.
Listeners, we'll speak to you again soon.